This is part 19 of AngularJS tutorial. In this video, we'll discuss what is a service in Angular, why do we need services in an Angular application, and what are the benefits of using services. So what's a service in Angular? Before we talk about what a service is in Angular, let's talk about a service in web development. If you have any experience developing web applications, you might have heard about web services and WCF services. You might have also created objects that provide some services. For example, a math object may provide services to add numbers. So a service in Angular is simply an object that provides some sort of service that can be reused within an Angular application. The Angular service object has properties and methods just like any other JavaScript object. AngularJS has a lot of built-in services. We discussed two of the built-in services, $HTTP and $log, in our previous video. $HTTP service is used to make AJAX calls, and the $log service is useful to log an object to the console, which is very useful when debugging applications. We can also create our own custom services, which we will discuss in a later video. So what is a service in Angular? In short, a service in Angular is simply an object that provides some sort of service that can be reused within an Angular application. So why do we need services? Now let's understand the need for service. The primary responsibility of the controller is to build a model for the view. The controller should not be doing too many things. For example, if the controller also has the logic to compute age from date of birth in addition to building the model, then it violates one of the solid principles, that is the single responsibility principle. The single responsibility principle states that an object should only have a single responsibility. So this kind of a logic belongs in its own service, which can then be injected into the object that needs that service. In our previous video session, we have injected two of the Angular built-in services, that is the $HTTP and $log service, into the controller function that needs them. In general, if the logic within your controller is becoming too large or too complex, then it is time to take a step back and think if anything can be abstracted in its own service. Services can in turn be used by controllers, directives, and filters. So why do we need services? In short, services encapsulate reusable logic that does not belong anywhere else. That is directives, filters, views, models, and controllers. So what are the benefits of using services? One of the primary benefits is reusability. In a service, you usually have a logic that you want to reuse within your entire application. For example, anytime you want to make AJAX calls, you can use one of the built-in Angular service, $HTTP, simply by injecting it into the object that needs that service. The application is also easier to maintain when the reusable components are encapsulated into their own services. Dependency injection. Another benefit of services is that they can simply be injected into controllers or other services that need them. Testability. Since services are injected into controllers or other services that need them, it becomes very easy to test them. Depending on which service you're testing, you can pass mock implementations or real implementations. If you're new to unit testing and mocking, don't worry, we will be covering these in detail in our upcoming videos. In our next video, we'll discuss how to create a custom service, register, and use it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.